Hey, everybody, we're back. As you can see, I've got no Molly for the women, no Byron for the men tonight. So I'm gonna do this solo because I believe it's probably been about 10 days, 8 or 9 maybe, um, since we put a podcast out, and I didn't feel right leaving you guys out, so I felt like we need to do this. Um, Working with Molly on her schedule. She is a soccer coach and she is starting her soccer season. And so we just thought I'd just go ahead and go solo on this one because we haven't been able to hook up on doing an analysis on any game. I'm hoping that maybe some way tomorrow night after the women's Northwestern game over, Molly and I can come back on and do a analysis recap of the Northwestern game. I hope. Byron's out of town, out of state working, and I'll get Byron back on here pretty soon. He was very popular last time, and last couple times he's been on, and we'll get Byron back for the on the men's side pretty soon. If you haven't already, subscribe while you're on here right now looking at me. Hit the subscribe button, okay? Then hit the like button. All right. Let's get this thing built up, guys. Let's build her up. Um, I got some exciting news. I can't say who yet, but we got. I have hopefully a current women's basketball player coming on soon to talk with us and get and you guys can get to know her a little bit better. We're working on finalizing the date on that, and when I get a date and time set for it, I will tell you who. Okay, I'm really excited. Yeah, so get started, okay? So we got the men going to Ohio State tonight, which, golly, guys, I don't like that really. Tink thinks we're going to get the win tonight. We're fully capable of getting the win tonight, Tink. I really believe that we can do this. The men come into this game at 13-7. Ohio State 11-8. We're 11th in the Big Ten at 4-5, and they're 12th at 3. At 3-5. Okay, so guys, I just happened to notice that Owen Freeman is our leading scorer at 17.8 and 6.5 rebounds a game. So I don't know. I wish there was more of you on here right now. I just want to know what you guys think about the Ohio State game tonight. And which team are we going to show up? I mean, Penn State. We had that game wrapped up early, and we practically handed it back to them. And so, honestly, I just don't know about that. Ohio State scares me because they always seem to be highly thought of, and just average at best on their record. And then we go play them, and then we just kind of blow up like a $2 bill blowing up in the wind. Okay, so Iowa. T. Hink says Iowa does well at Ohio State. I hope so. I just hope that these guys are able to hit their shots tonight. I hope Peyton Stanford. I hope he's able to be consistent tonight. I hope he throws up his first three early and often. I think that's going to be a key for him, and that's a key for the team to get him going and get him more early. But here's what more concerning is Josh Dix. He's been the hot man most of the season, and I think the last couple of games he's just not producing, guys. He just seems to be off his shot. He seems to be forcing it, and that's something that the men actually do is they seem to force a lot of shots early, early in the count. I'd like to see them move the ball around more. Let's move the ball. Let's and move yourselves, move the ball, move around a little bit. Sometimes I think we just get stagnant, and then when we get and I like Drew Thelwell. I like what he's becoming. I'm glad he looks like he's taking charge of this team, and I like what he can do. The only thing that both him and Harding does is I think they dribble too much. They dribble and they get in there into a crowd and they dribble too much and they have a tendency to turn the ball over. T. Hink says, I just don't I just hope they don't get down early. I will know if it's a win or a loss at the first media timeout. Okay. I don't, we don't really know because I mean they've gotten down before and come back and come back, in the second half. Sometimes they wait to start their. Have you guys noticed though? If you hang around long enough with Iowa basketball, they can get down early and then get down early to start the second half, and then all of a sudden, last 6, 7, 5 minutes, they'll start making a run, but it's never enough to win the game. They'll close the gap and they'll make a 15-point lead deficit look like, well, we only lost by 3. Okay, and so D Hink, thank you for keeping commenting. Okay, D Hink says, I just hope they get down early, or I will know it's a win or loss by the first. Okay, we did that one already. If they're ahead at the under 15, in good shape. If we are down, we will lose. I don't necessarily agree with that comment. But yeah, it seems to be the strategy that happened with UCLA. I just don't want to see another UCLA debacle. I mean, we were never in that game at all. And, and we were really never in USC game at all either. I mean, we finished with 10 with a 10-point deficit, but we know that game wasn't that close. But yeah, that was the night I was so tired. It had been a long night. It was a late game on, even for me in California. It was a late game. And at halftime, I just felt like there's no way we're going to come back and win this game. I'm just going to go to bed. I'll check on the score later in the morning and see how it went. And then watch. I had recorded and I'll watch it then. But I imagine a lot of you in the Midwest and the East Coast were were the same way, because it was an even later game for you guys than it was for me. So yeah, USC, yeah, Tink. That's right. USC, I went to bed. Yeah, me too. I at least waited till halftime. I just posted on there, this game is a bad game, guys. I'm just gonna go to bed. Get too tired to stay awake and try to push through it. And if we'd have been winning, I probably would have stayed up and pushed through it. Through the tiredness. Yeah. Saying, hey, we had the same idea. We both went at halftime. Okay. So interesting enough, I kind of pulled some stats where I was at, as far as quad wins go. Okay. Interesting enough, we have yet to get a quad 1 win, or 0-6. Quad 2, we're 6-1. Quad 3, we're 0-1. That's got to be the Minnesota game, guys. But that probably will switch to a quad 2 loss. If Minnesota keeps going the way they're going, that might end up becoming a quad 2 eventually. And of course, quad 4, we're 7-0. So, all righty. Kelvin's here. Thank you, Kelvin, for coming in. USC game over at the 11:15 time. Got down to 5, I think. Yeah. Tonight it's a quad 1. All right, cool. It's interesting. I noticed that I think when we played, was it Northwestern earlier? If Northwestern would have won, it was or I can't remember who it was. It was a quad win for 1 win for them, but when we lost, it was a quad 3 or quad 2. If we'd have lost, it would have been quad 2 or quad 3. Interesting. That was very interesting to know. Okay. Just need to be above 75. That doesn't always work. Fran's team can score 80 plus points, which we know they're very capable of it because they're averaging about 87 points a game. And so if they could do that, they got to hold the other team down, though. They can't just not play defense. And I honestly, I think their defense is getting better. I really do. We're not all the way there, though. And what Fran has coming in the future, what he's got coming in next year on his recruits and stuff, honestly, I think we're going to see some of that defense. I think we're going to slowly see that flip. And, and like Jan's team this year, I think we're going to see a scoring drop off. But yeah, if we're above 75 at Ohio State, as long as we can hold them to under 70, I would be happy. That's the way I've always felt. And it's like, who did we beat the other night that we allowed to get 60 points? 60 points. I was so wanting to keep them under 60. I was so wanting to keep them under 60. I really was. Okay. So anything else that you guys want to talk about the men's? The game will be starting here in about an hour and 19 minutes. And I like being the first game of the night. Yes. Gosh, sometimes when FS1 puts us the second game, we don't get into the game on time, or we're pushed off to FS2 to watch the game. I'll swear to God, Fox likes to draw out that first game as long as they can draw it out. And so that just irritates me the way they do that. I hate being the second game, but we should be the first game tonight. Need Jason on the show for a football show again. Hey, T. Hink, he did over the weekend a quarterback football show for Iowa. He didn't like the way it went. He did it live on his own channel, and he deleted it. He deleted it. I thought he did very well on the quarterback part of it. And so here's what he's gonna redo the show with the quarterbacks. He'll either do it on his channel, or he said he could do it on mine if I wanted to. If I wanted to let him do that, and either or is fine. So yes, but I'm going to tell him that people are asking about it. They want that show. I've seen some private messaging going on this morning, and so yeah, he'll be back. He's going to do the football show, whether it'll be on this channel or whether it be on his own channel, I don't know. But he's definitely going to do the quarterback and wide receiver. I wish he would have at least edited out the playbook part and kept the my mind's going blank again, guys. Okay. And kept the quarterback part that he did. I thought he did a very good job. He ran video of it. He ran video clips of everybody. He ran video clips of everybody but Fitzgerald. He didn't do Fitzgerald clips. And so yeah. I will let you guys know when that is. I shared all the information on my page when he was going to do it. I texted everybody I knew that he was on doing it live, and and he got several people to watch. But yeah, he's going to redo the show, so I will let him know that you were asking about it. Yeah, he deleted it. I told him not to, but he did it anyway. So that's all right. He's going to redo it though, so it's coming. It's coming soon. All right. Okay, guys, let's jump over because I didn't want to because I'm solo tonight, and it's hard to do a solo show, guys. I know it's very hard to do a solo show. So let's jump over and preview the women's Nebraska show for tomorrow night, and then I'll get out of here and we can go enjoy and watch the Iowa men tonight get a victory over Ohio State. All right, Iowa's 3-7 and 3-6. Okay, we lead the series over Northwestern 61-18. Northwestern's currently 7-11, like the store, 7-11. Yeah, I could see that. God, as soon as I talked women, everybody left me. We're at 0 viewers now. Okay, and they're 0-7 in the Big Ten. So they average 66.9 points a game. Northwestern does, but they're giving up 73.2 points a game. They have a shoot a field goal percentage of 43%. Their opponents shoot a field goal percentage of 41%. 3-point shots, they're one of the worst in the nation at 28%, or it's actually 22.279%, and they give up 334% field goals. 3 points. Their free throws, they're not great at it. They're 67%. Their opponents at 74%. They're rebounding 36.7 a game, and their opponents are rebounding 38.1 a game. Hi, Calvin. It says 0. on there. So I'm glad you're here, though. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Iowa, on the other hand, contrast. Iowa averaging 74.8 points a game. Their opponents are averaging 65.3. Field goal percentage is 47%. They're giving up 39% field goal percentage. Our 3-point shooting is 0.331%. We're giving up 0.340%. And I want to say something about this later in a minute. Okay. We're shooting 71% at the free throw line. Our opponents are shooting 73%. We are rebounding 39.5 a game and giving up 31.1 a game. Iowa's only lost the rebounding battle twice this year. The women have. I think the men have only won the rebounding battle once or twice this year. So that just tells you that where we're at with that. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about who we're going to be facing at Northwestern. Okay. Kylie Wash is 11.2 points per game. She leads the team, but she's also a 90% free throw shooter. So we don't want to foul her because she's going to make her shots. Okay. The next four people on the team average between 10.5 and 10.8 points a game, which is kind of like amazing when you think your first five people, they're very balanced in their first five people. Grace Sullivan, Taylor Williams, Kyla Jones, and Melanie Daly. Melanie Daly, by the way, shoots 81.5% from the free throw line. So she's probably another person we don't want to send to the free throw line at all. Okay. Taylor Williams is their top rebounder at 9.4. Their top assist leader is Caroline Luau at 6.1. Steals is the same, Caroline Luau for 1.4. Blocks is Grace Sullivan at 0.8 blocks a game. Okay. Caroline Luau is also their assist leader at 109 assists total, and that leads the Big Ten. Northwestern forces 12.44 turnovers per game, which is near the bottom. And no, I'm sorry. Yeah. And their forced turnover rate is 17.2%, which is good for 356th place in the Division I or in basketball. Period. Okay. They're a bad rebounding team, obviously. Caroline Luau has 25 steals on the season. Yeah. We already talked. Oh, I did not mention Casey Harder. She's 21 of 54 from the 3-point line. So she's somebody that if she's out there playing, then we need to keep her away from the 3-point line. Okay. Their 70 made threes are their last in the Big Ten. Their 251 attempts from the 3-point line is fewer than anybody else. So they're way down the list. Okay. Okay. By contrast, I told you guys everything about Iowa, right? Okay. All right. Iowa has 16.9 turnovers per game. That's very high. It's very high. They got to work on getting that down, but they're forcing 16 turnovers a game. Well, I don't know if I would call that forcing because, what the heck. Okay. All right. Just so you guys know where the season. Oh, Hannah's going to be playing tomorrow night, according to Abby Stamp, one of the assistant coaches. Okay. Lucy is averaging 15.8 a game. Hannah's at 12.9. Addison O'Grady is at 12.6. And then we have a considerable drop-off after that. But we got some balance right here. Taylor McCabe at 7.3. Sydney Folter at 6.7. Kylie Fairbach at 6.2. Aaliyah Guyton at 5.6. Tegan Mulaney at 4.4. Ava at 4.1, Strimlow at 2.7, Jada at 2.4, AJ at 1.5. Kelly Levine has no average. I did not realize this. She has not scored this year. Hers are all 0 on her lines, which is sad because honestly, she's my favorite player on the team, guys. We got to get her more playing time. We got to figure out how to get out there. And I do know from talking with her dad that when she was in the state championship game last year in high school, she was injured. But I believe she finished the game. But I remember thinking when I watched that game on TV, she looked hurt. She did. She played hurt. Not many people knew about that, and she was withheld all summer long out of team workouts. So she didn't have a chance to learn the offense as much as the other freshmen did, which is probably why she's buried on the bench right now. But honestly, this girl can do it, and I would love to see her rise to the occasion. I know we got some talented people on our team, and we got some talented people coming, but I want to see this girl get out there and shine. Shine soon. So let's hope she can get out there and shine. Yes. But I hope when she does get in again in the game, because it'll probably be in garbage time. I just hope that she's a little selfish and takes a couple of shots for herself, on there. So okay. I don't really have much else to say. I just felt bad that it had been, anywhere from 8 to 10 days, I think, since Molly and I did a podcast, and a planned podcast went south because of how late it was at night. And it was too bad because it was a win over Washington. We were going to do that night. When Molly and I do get back, I'm hoping that we can. The game should be late enough that her soccer practice should be over tomorrow. That we should be able to come on and do a full recap of the Northwestern game and do a preview of the USC game on Sunday, February 2nd. Okay, that's going to be a great game. In case you haven't heard, y'all help me out with this, Calvin. I'm going to try to do this in memory because, no, I have it all written down somewhere here. Hang on. All the girls, all the recruits that we're trying to get to come to Iowa, plus some that we've already got committed, coming to on the 7th against on the 2nd against for Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement party. Okay, so these are the girls that are coming. Okay, so let's talk about them real quick. Okay, this is going to be a big deal for Caitlin Clark. Okay, I just wish it was an opponent that I feel like. Okay, McDonald's All-American team started 2002 for girls. Iowa's had 4: Deal, Clark, Salverson, and Logic. Deal named today. Yeah, that's going to be great. Great job for Deal. All right, so Kate Harpring. She's the number 2 all 2026 recruit out of Atlanta, Georgia. I should ask Molly about this girl. I'm sure she's heard plenty about it, maybe even seen her play. But maybe we can get Molly to go talk to her for the recruiting. Maybe have Jan hook up with Molly and have Molly talk to her. Molly would be glad to do that. Okay. She's a 5'10" point guard. Addison Warren, a number 11 overall 2026 recruit out of Kansas City, a 6'1" wing. Jenica Lewis, a number 15 overall 2026 recruit out of Johnston, 5'10" guard. I don't know how many of these people were going to be close. Calvin, if you know anything about any of these people, if any of these other people that are unsigned are close. And we have Finley Chastain, number 18. Okay, and we have Finley Chastain, number 18 overall, 2027 recruit out of Texas. So she's obviously in her sophomore year. That would be her junior year, right? 25. Yeah, she's in her sophomore year. Okay. Then of course Addie Deals. Everybody already knows about Addie Deal. She's already signed for the class of 2025, and she's really excited. I've seen a couple interviews with her. She is really exciting to see. Hartpring does everything and rebounds too. That's good. That's good. Okay. And so also, let me. Okay. Also, Jelena. How do you say it? Jaliana Guy. I believe she's. Am I wrong? Hasn't she already committed to Iowa, or Calvin, or is she someone we're still working on? Anyway, she will be there, but she's a freshman in the class of 2028. So we got a ways to wait for her. Journey Houston, who's already committed for the class of 2025, will be there. There's a total of 7. Okay. There's a whole bunch of football recruits, guys, but I don't know if I can remember them all. I might as well throw them in there. Today, the latest one was Hudson Parliament. Is 6'4", 320. He's going to be a class of the 2026. I think we got 4 offensive linemen to commit. No, meaning that she hasn't committed. Committed yet? Is that what you're saying, Calvin? Are we still working on her? Okay. Let me see what I can do here. Let's talk about some of these other guys. Man, we just had a whole slew of commitments over the weekend. And it's just like, golly, man, I'm trying to keep up on them. I know where to get the information. We'll just go over to On3 because On3 is where all the good stuff is at. Guys, On3 I think is one of the best websites out there. It does cost a little bit if you want to read some of their stuff, but honestly, it's very inexpensive if you want to read some of their stuff, and it's not too bad. And they got the best website out there. They're not sponsoring this show or anything, and so, but okay, Colin Winters, he's another offensive lineman. Witters, yeah, he's an offensive lineman who committed. A guy named Nelson. I can't remember his first name. From Waterloo West. Go Waterloo! Anytime a person from Waterloo West comes on there, reminds me when we've had some other Waterloo kids on that team. Owen Linder, another offensive lineman. Guys, let's hope that it looks like Barnett's working hard to get these guys, get some offensive linemen, get in his type of offensive lineman. Okay. The basketball team picked up a small guard in Joshua Lewis. Okay. Alrighty. I'm almost done here, guys. I didn't want to take up a lot of time because, like I said, it is very hard to carry a show by myself. I did ask somebody to sit in for me, and sit in for Molly and Byron tonight. But incidentally, he was actually recording his own podcast at the exact same time. So I didn't even get a chance to ask him. I asked him, about his podcast, and he said they were recording it as we were speaking. So, but yeah, I think this is a good place to leave it. Like we said, we had a slew of football commitments today. I think I'm not so sure about next year yet because we have to replace a lot of people. But honestly, when you think about it, in my all too early prediction, I originally predicted 6-6 would be the ceiling, and I've not changed from that. However, with the Gronkowski coming on board as quarterback, um, and the Sam Phillips coming on as a wide receiver transfer, maybe we can get another win or two out of that. You know, I think the schedule's way too daunting for him to make a big difference, especially when we're replacing everybody. I believe if you guys saw some of Calvin's comments over the weekend, I think he showed you how many people we actually lost on both offense and defense, and it's going to be hard. And and Calvin thought the prognosticators would still go 8, 9, 10 wins season. I think 8 is possible now. I would say 8 is the ceiling in my book. I mean, I went through it, and I'm not going to break it down now, but I for sure had 2 sure wins and 3 sure losses. With the other 7 games, could go either way. So I just don't think I don't think all 7 of those games are gonna go our way, though. I really don't. I really don't, which is why I'm kind of stuck between 6 and 8 now. And like I said, with Gronkowski coming on to play quarterback, I think we can get a couple more of those 50-50 games for sure. But it also depends on Wisconsin. Are they improving or not? Okay, we don't know what they're doing. They've been kind of crappy team the last few years. Calvin feels if they win 8, Ferentz should be Big Ten Coach of the Year because of that schedule. Because if he can win 8 with that schedule. Is this the year that we finally beat a top 25 team? It's been a long time since we beat a top 25 team. It's been a long time. I know we're all getting anxious. I believe Penn State was the last top 25 team we beat when they were ranked, because I believe they finished that season unranked. Okay. And so where was I going with that? I forgot, because I was looking at Calvin's thing anyhow. So yeah, I think it's way too early because we don't know who's going to be on the team come the fall. They're going to be we got to go through spring practice, see who's shining, who's not, who's going to leave at the end of spring practice in the new portal window at that time, and who do we pick up in this portal window at that time? And will the people who we picked up, will they shine? I still think we need a cornerback, but there must not be anybody in the portal worth going after, because we haven't really gone after a cornerback, and I really believe we need one. I really do. So anyway, this wasn't meant to be a football show. Like I said, Jason will do a football show for you guys. And so that'll be coming, and I will let you guys know when that does. And I'll let you know whether to look for it on his channel or mine. But I will get together with him. I will mention it to him tonight. So anyhow, let's get out of here and keep the show nice and short tonight. And so go Hawks. We got 2 Hawk victories we need. We need a victory at Ohio State tonight, and which they're fully capable of. But, we always kind of get the feel for what they're going to do in the first few minutes, how they come out. If they can come out like they did against Penn State, I think that will say a lot. That would say a lot. Okay. So let's get out of here. I appreciate you guys. And, oh yeah, I would like to say before we leave, if you made it this far, we are part of the Villain Sports Network. And so I want to thank Andrew for all the help he's given me on this show. I really appreciate it. And so, yeah. Yeah, I can't. I was gonna play, but I can't. I can't tell which is which right here. So, yeah. Okay. But anyway, we are, and I want to thank the Hawkaholics, Brandon and Brad, for their their help. And oh, by the way, one other thing I want to say. The Villain Sports Network is going to do a baseball show with the Hawkeyes and Jason. Jason, our guy Jason, is going to join the baseball show. You can watch it through Hawkeyes, and I believe there'll be several outlets that you can watch that through. But if you watch it through Hawkeyes, just go to their Facebook page and sign up through it. I believe they're going to also broadcast it through my channel, the baseball show, and that way I won't have to do any baseball because they're going to cover it for me. So I guess that's good. I am out of here, and I will see you guys tomorrow night, I hope, after the Northwestern win.
I will never be free now, my baby. No, no.